All right, so it's time to talk about finding yourself, okay? And when I say finding yourself, what I mean is finding your potential, finding out where it's time for you to go. So we're gonna talk in the next section about tapping into your potential, so, taking this potential that you have and running with it. But in this section, we're gonna talk about how to find that potential, how to find out who you are, what makes you you, what your passions are, what your interests are, and where you want to go next. Okay, so the first thing you have to do to find yourself, and this is really important, again, this is the inner game, the self-development module. The first thing you have to do is you have to aim high. If you don't set the bar high, if you don't aim high and aim for success, you will get nowhere. You have to push your fucking limits. Every mentor that I've ever had, and you can hear it from them themselves in the Mentor Manifesto, every mentor I've ever had has pushed themselves high to get the success that they have right now. Like every fucking mentor that I've ever had has always pushed themselves as high as they could to get the success that they have now. Even myself, like I wouldn't consider myself very successful at all. I'm still on this journey and I'm gonna get so much fucking better. But the success I've had with women, the slight success I've had in business has been because I have aimed high. I've set a high bar for myself. I've set a high bar of success, and I'm constantly pushing myself to new limits. You get to know yourself by setting a high bar. The reason why is because you don't know who you truly are unless you establish a measurement of success, right? You don't know who you truly are until you establish something to base yourself upon. Now, the problem is what a lot of people do, they think they know themselves, is because they base themselves, their where they are on others. They base themselves on other success. That can be okay to do depending on, the field you're in, depending on the context. But what I want to teach you is maybe a healthier way of doing it. What you want to do is in your field or whatever you want to achieve, you have to set a higher standard for your own results in that thing. For example, women. I'll give you some clear-cut examples with women, health, and work, okay? And I'll give examples of what I've done. So with women, maybe a year ago, where was I in my game a year ago? A year ago, I was able to sleep with pretty much however many I wanted per month, depending on how much I went out and actually approached. I could sleep with, 7+ girls a month very easily. With going out, of course, I had to take action, but I could sleep with 7-10 girls a month. And I was able to do that. But what I wanted to work on was meeting girls that were a different quality than I had previously met. And I was dating girls that were high quality. I was dating girls that were, like cute models or cute girls at like different colleges and things like that, like the cutest girls that were around. Not celebrities, but I was dating girls that were pretty cute that most guys would be like, damn, that's a cute girl, I'd make her my girlfriend. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to push myself to meet different types of girls. So girls that were maybe more artsy, or girls that were, like, for example, girls that were strippers, things like that. And I wanted to work at like threesomes. So what I did was I put a bar to myself. I set a bar, a measurement of success, that, hey, I'm going to reach this next level by the end of the year. And I did hit that level. I hit that level. The level that I wanted to hit was where I was dating this next quality of women that were a little older than myself, and women that, had a little more life experience than me. And at the end of the year, I was dating two MILFs, two fucking mature-ass women that had done a lot in their lives and were beautifully hot and were amazing in bed. And I was dating those girls. One I was dating much longer than the other, but I had those relationships, right? And I set the bar for success that way. What about health? This is something that I need to fucking work on because I do not prioritize it enough. But with health, for example, an example could be, you say, I'm going to cut out this certain food. I'm only going to eat chicken. I'm not going to eat like red meats anymore. And you cut that out and you focus on eating chicken and more green vegetables. And you set the bar high. Like, can I actually do this? And you make it happen. And if you do it, hey, you found out about yourself. You found out if you like that. You found out, do you actually enjoy living this kind of lifestyle? Or maybe you need to take a different path. Maybe you're saying, okay, I want to eat more red meat. Or let's say for me with women, maybe I would say, hey, I don't want to date strippers. Or one example of how I found out about myself, I kind of found out that I'm not really a huge fan of going for threesomes. Threesomes are nice. I like having threesomes, but putting in the effort to actually get threesomes and organize threesomes and having a girl that's constantly like that I want to constantly pull threesomes is not my biggest fetish. I have many other things that I love sexually, but threesomes is not my super big kink, right? So I figured that out about myself, but how did I know? Because I actually tried it. I actually tried going for it. Maybe at another point in my life I'll change, but right now that's not my big passion in sex, right? What's another thing work-wise? Something work-wise. How I challenge myself. I'm constantly creating new programs. Creating this was a challenge. I said, I'm going to launch an online course. I'm going to launch an online course and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to fucking make money doing that. I'm going to increase my revenue by doing this. And I've done it. Like, I've done that. And now there's going to be new challenges in my life, new things that I'm going to work on. So you constantly know about yourself. You know who you are by by setting the bar high and aiming fucking high. Now, one question you may be asking is, how do you set this standard? Like, how do you actually set the standard to aim high? What do you do? Well, the few things is you have a couple things. You have to get a new goal that you have never hit. You have to get a goal that you haven't hit before. It has to be something you haven't done. A lot of people trick themselves into thinking they're going to do new goals. Like they'll say, okay, this month I'm going to focus on getting this many approaches or something like that. But when in actuality, they're already approaching women. Or they'll say, okay, this month I'm going to focus on hitting this new revenue goal. But how are they getting there? Like, what's the method by how they're getting there? Right? What is the method of how they're getting there? It's not changing who they are. You have to actually pick new goals that you have never hit before. Not just goals that'll stretch where your limits a little bit, but you have to pick a new goal that causes you to do different actions. Right? The goal has to actually cause you to do different things when you're out, or when you're taking action on that goal. If you're doing the same thing you've always done before, but doing it a little harder, a little more aggressively, a little more committed, that's not stretching your comfort zone. That's not setting the bar high. Setting the bar high is, in your field or in whatever you want to do, setting a new goal that causes you to take new actions to get to that goal. Right? How do you cause new actions? What new actions do you have to take to get to that new goal? Something that's interesting is like repeating certain actions when you're out. Another part of this is repeating actions. Things that you've done before that get you success, repeating those actions on a bigger scale. That's how you can set a standard. The actions that work, make those actions the standard. The actions that work for you, make those actions the standard. So you do those actions every time. Again, with me, one of the principles we went over earlier was, you don't have to spam approach girls early in the night. And I figured this out early on, and now I don't do it. I repeat that action. I repeat that action early. I repeat that action when I go out. I repeat that action consistently because it works for me. Something else, looking at others who have results that you want and not comparing yourself or looking at their behaviors, right? You have to look at other people who have the results that you want, but you don't want to compare yourself to them. You want to look at their behaviors. Okay? So other people that have results you want, for example, me, I may look at someone who's doing amazing in business, and I may look at where they're at and look at what they're doing and kind of say, I could imagine myself getting those kind of results, but I'm not going to compare myself like, why am I not where they're at? No, instead I'm going to look at what they're doing and how they're getting there. What behaviors do they have that's getting them success? Look at someone who's really good with women. That's what the Fuckboy frame is all about. Like someone who's good with women, what kind of actions is this person taking that's getting them the results? Don't compare yourself. Don't say, I should be there. Again, that's more of the killing ego, but learn instead from them. Learn from them and say, what actions are they taking that I can implement as well that will get me that success? What actions can I take in my own life that will get me the success that they're having, right? Look at the behaviors they do. What kind of behaviors do they have? And the final thing is, when it comes to setting the standard for yourself, removing limiting beliefs. You have to remove stuff limiting. Don't ever tell yourself you can't. There's nothing you can't do. That's factually not true. There are things you can't do. Like, you can't fly, at least right now. But, don't tell yourself there's tons of things you can't do. Like, the world is your oyster. Especially, I'm being honest, for a lot of you guys, if you live in a Western country, like the US or London or England or Sweden or any of these privileged first world countries, there's nothing you can't do. Let's be real here. Like, the world is yours. Maybe you've come from a place that makes it harder for you to get those things. But, if you take proper action in your life and you, honestly, with a little bit of luck, it does take some luck, but I think everyone does get lucky opportunities here and there. The world is yours. Don't ever tell yourself you can't do something. Don't make fucking excuses. Don't tell yourself you can't do anything. These are the steps for how you can aim high and how you can begin to find yourself. You have to aim high if you're going to find yourself, okay? These are the beginning principles. In the next video, we're going to crack into how to actually take risks and make moves in your life that way.